18 years ago, when I started practice, I had the opportunity to spend time with patients, and we came out with meaningful results. And both patients and the physician felt great about the interaction. Today, it's a completely different story. Patients don't feel heard. They feel that health care and health insurance costs have skyrocketed, which they have. The red tape in which they have to operate, as well as physicians have to operate, is immeasurable. Third parties like insurance company, government programs, and federal mandates are getting in the way. They're telling physicians what to do, and they're telling patients what they can and cannot have.
On a day-to-day basis, there's a lot of background noise and things that interfere with our thought processes and how we interface with patients. And those noises are coming in from other third parties that just take away from the art of what we do. It creates mental noise, it creates frustration, interferes with your ability to concentrate, sometimes even disrupts your ability to spend some time with and develop the level of relationship you want to develop with the patient.
I think a lot of it has to do with a failure to really understand the importance of the doctor-patient relationship and how that really impacts patient outcome. And you start thinking in terms of centrally planning and controlling from the top down. How are we going to make a plan that addresses these needs? There's always basic principles. In medicine, there's rules, general rules that you will use as a standard against which to judge, does this apply in this case or not? And what we want as physicians is to be able to take those general rules and the advice of all the science that comes behind them, all the evidence that comes behind them, and use our professional judgment to say, does this apply in this particular patient? Is this really what's in this particular patient's best interest at this moment in time?
I do think there is a common denominator that is weaved across all of those things. And to me, the common denominator is this frustration that those outside of medicine are telling us how to practice our profession. Certainly another issue is insurance companies almost dictating to physicians how to practice.
It's all become population-based, and all that is important, but really when it gets down to it, what is that person needing right there in that moment? What's the unique situation? And how can I meet that in that moment, right there and then? That's the healing relationship. Two unique human beings that can't be distilled down into some cookbook medicine. Evidence-based, yes. Evidence-informed, not evidence-enslaved. The foundation of medicine is the patient-doctor relationship. And the patient-doctor relationship is built on trust. And trust is built on love. We bring back love in the patient-doctor relationship. We restore the foundation of medicine.
I'll tell you a small story about a woman I just met named Esther. Esther was sent to me by her family physician for a little red spot on her upper lip. She was an older woman, about 82 years old, a gorgeous lady with blonde hair and beautiful crystal blue eyes. And I walked into the exam room and introduced myself and said, "Well, I see your doctor sent you for this spot on your lip." And she said, "Well, that was there about 2 weeks ago and it's really mostly gone now." And she was quiet, and I could tell there was something else. So I just sat for a second, and she said, "You know, my husband died 3 months ago." And I said, "Really? How long were you married?" And she said, 47 years. Then she started to cry, and she said, "You know, he was my best friend. And I haven't been able to tell anybody about this until you today. And that's why I came, not for my lip." If I had been distracted by a computer or an algorithm or not paying attention to Esther, I wouldn't have done anything for her. But she came and talked to me because I'm a doctor. She trusted me, and I listened. And it didn't take very long, but that's real.
So the Let My Doctor Practice movement is actually a product of the summit. A forum where physicians could come together and engage in dialogue about the third-party intrusions into the practice of medicine, the disruption of the physician patient relationship.
When I heard about the Let My Doctor Practice movement, and I was asked to be a part of it, I jumped at the chance. The focus of Let My Doctor Practice is to bring talented physicians together that are both passionate and frustrated, feeling the hurt and pain that patients feel every day, and helping not only to tell our stories, but to tell patient stories and help synthesize solutions that work for individual patients.
What is keeping me involved in the Let My Doctor Practice movement, what inspires me personally, is the knowledge that the quality of healthcare in the United States is in progressive decline. And there are very specific issues that are dragging us down. The Let My Doctor Practice movement is systematically addressing each of those issues, identifying the problem, creating solutions for the problem, putting those solutions into action, and I believe that participating in the Let My Doctor Practice movement is the right thing to do.